Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Erin Reed from Erin Reed Makes, and I am going to show you guys the brand new, really cool mini maker machine by Makers Movement. This thing is so cool. I love it. Okay, so you guys have seen me play and use the big machine, the crossover tube machine, and that's awesome because it can fit an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. But this is the brand new little mini maker. Look at that thing. And it's got a lot of really cool. Okay, so first, it's small, it fits on my desk, and I don't have to pull this thing out. I can shift it up on my whatever, bring it back over, and it's awesome. So the size, I want to make sure I get this correct for you guys. So the size plates, they're 8.5 inches long, which is awesome. I have built so many things, and there is a card video coming tomorrow where I build with this, so you guys can see it in action in terms of card making, but it's 8.5, and it's 3 inches wide. Right, so that's the best thing. So these little things fit in here. You get 3 plates, and there's a reason for all 3 plates because this machine does more than just die cutting for card making and for paper. It can also cut other materials too, which is pretty impressive for a little bitty guy. And we're going to do some demoing here in a minute. So with the machine, you get the machine. You get the 3 plates, and also the little metal shim, which we'll explain in a minute. You also get 2 separate types of dies. This is called a deep edge die, and this would be your standard wafer thin die. And we'll demo both of those in a quick second. So you get all of that, and it's pretty reasonably priced. Link is down in the information section if you're interested in that. Okay, so the purpose of the different shims. So you can do a standard die crafting. So you can just use plates A and B if you're going to do a single sheet of paper. So I've done that many times. Let me show you that. So we're going to do a single sheet of paper, and I just have a little bit of white, A plate, stick down my little die here. There we go. And I just run it until it kind of catches. Run it right through. Oh, this one needs a plate. Sorry. So I did find that if I can't quite get a good enough cut, let me flip this over so you can get a better cut. I have had other dies. This is the die that came with it. I have had other dies where I did not need to have the separate plate, or the metal shim plates. But if it doesn't work, now you know it's working. Just throw the metal plate on there. And ta-da, there it is. Like I said, I have had some dies where they cut through no problem. So look at that, right? So that is using, and I've used this on a few different projects. Look at that. That's awesome. Hi, Danielle. I don't know why my camera's bumping around all over the place. Sorry about that. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Nina. All right, so it can cut through. Now, I've also cut through multiple sheets of paper before. So let me grab that and that. Throw this on there again. There we go. It's going to be a little bit short on the black. But yeah, I've cut through. 2 is the max I've tried. Now, why do you have a metal shim? There's a couple of reasons. When you have plastic, so when you just have plain plastic, the die kind of goes into the plastic versus like it doesn't have enough resistance. So the metal, as you can see, it's giving the resistance for all the different dies that are on there. So it really does cut cleanly. And look, it cut right through. And it cut right through. Look at that. Awesome stuff. So it can definitely cut through a couple of different layers. No problem. Just throw the metal shim on there and you're good to go. But like I said, this particular die, not so much, but I've used other dies with just the A and B plates. Cut great. The other thing it can do is, let's say you want to cut a different material. That's why they give you a separate plate altogether. So there's a whole other plate, and it's all in the instructions. So if you've got a deep edge die, for instance, you can also go through and you're going to use the A plate, B plate, and then the metal plate. Same thing. So we're going to use the exact same thing. This time, though, we're going to cut through a little bit of some faux leather right here. Okay, so I had my scissors and I dropped them. All right, so we're going to go through a little bit of some deep edge leather here. So same thing. We got our B plate. There's our leather. Let's put both these on here. So you can make earrings. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with this. And you want to put the metal plate on these because you are doing a little bit of a thicker material. There we go. Ooh. So this right here is what makes it a little bit different because you can now cut something else. Look, it cut through just like butter, right? Just to show you, I have used another small die cut machine many times. And this is the plate for the other die cut machine, right? So this is the one that Sizzix has put out, which I love and it's awesome. But I have found a couple of times that I wish it was just a tiny bit bigger. So this plate, remember I told you this was 3 inches wide, the width. I am definitely getting, look at that, like a whole ½ inch more. This is only 2.5 inches wide. So the width part is a huge deal for me. I love that. Plus, I was only limited to the length of this as well. Now look how much longer I have. Because it's just that much longer, I get that much more cutting space. So I could, and I have, in the video you guys are gonna see that goes live tomorrow, I built out and put a whole bunch of stuff on here, and I had all my little pieces with my stamps and my paper. So I can get a whole bunch of dies on here and just run them through once, and it saves me time instead of having to undo, pop open, redo. I can also double layer up my stamps. I saw how I did that with the double layer of the 2 things. So you can die cut twice and get done just, you know, that much faster, which I think is awesome. Now, so far, all we've used is the A plate, the B plate, and the metal shim. And we've done deep edge dies. And all that means is that the amount of surface, and they've differentiated them between the black and, this is just this particular company. Their deep edge dies are black. And the amount of a lip, excuse me, the amount of lip that's on here, the cutting edge is just a little bit thicker, which allows it to go into a thicker surface, thicker substance, I guess is the best term. Thing that you're cutting. Whereas this is pretty much primarily meant for paper, but you could die cut other stuff with this as well. I've die cut all kinds of things with this. I've cut fabric and I've cut all kinds of things. I can cut felt on here now, all kinds of stuff. So now I'm going back into my little template here. And this is the last thing, is you can also use an embossing folder. So all those little embossing folders that you might have had if you had one of those Sizzix machines, it will still be usable with this if you happen to have a long and narrow, or if you just have something that is a narrower embossing. Obviously has to be within the 3-inch space for it to work, but it would fit. And so that's where the B plate would come in. So you do B plate, and embossing folder. And that's where that you'd be able to do that. So they might be releasing some of their own when they come too. So it also says receive a free gift when you register your mini maker on our website. That's kind of cool. I have no idea what that is, but it is such a really cool little machine. I've been using this a lot. It's nice and compact. I think it's also got little suction cups on the bottom. So to make sure that it doesn't completely like move around, and you just kind of suction and it stays pretty good on there, right? So I'm going to cut. I'm going to show you a couple more. I got to show you this really cool paper. So this paper is from Yay Day Papers. Super fun. Yay Day Papers is put out by Damask Love. And if you don't know who she is, you got to go check her out. She was on that TV show that has, where the crafting competition TV show. I always forget the name of it. But that one. And she was in the first season. So she has put out and released a brand new, I'm just going to cut some more paper here, a brand new line of printable papers. So you can get the papers and then you print them off. And just look how cute. Look how fun this is. I love it. This is one thing I have noticed. If I cut more than one layer, I didn't do it on the last one, but it's doing on this one. The 2 layers kind of tend to stick together. So you're like, where's my other one? Just pull them apart and they're right there. They got kind of caught together in the sandwich. But I think that's awesome. I also love that they give you a few dies, which like this thanks, I could use this thanks over and over and over and over again. That's one of my go-to dies that I love to put on my cards. And just the smallness of this little guy, so awesome. It's great. It's great. It's great. So it cuts through, amazing. The plates are great. I love that it comes with a little bit of something just in case it doesn't quite cut through. But I have found quite a few just single layer papers where I can just use my A and B, my B plates, and I'm good to go. It also saves these plates from getting, I mean, take a look at this one. This one really got scratched up, right? And again, look at the size difference. It's a whole ½ inch bigger, wider, and like double the length, almost double the length. Not quite, but almost. So it's awesome. And it can cut through all kinds of stuff. As you said, here's my faux leather that I did with the deep edge dies. So thank you guys so much for stopping by and seeing this amazing new little mini maker little mini maker, so cute. This is by Maker's Movement. The price is actually really reasonable. It just got launched, so it's brand new, and it comes with a little guide. It also comes, like I said, with the thanks die. It comes with the 2 teardrops, which are meant to be like if you want to turn them into earrings, and then the 4 plates. You get 2 B plates, 1 A plate, and also the metal shim. And that's all the cool stuff that you get, and you get to die cut all your cool card making. I think card making, it's a huge space saver for card making, but it's not too small because you're able to get a good 3 inches out of it. Thank you guys so much. Link is down in the information section. Please give this video a thumbs up. Sorry about the wobbles. I will get the camera fixed for the next one, before my next live. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you guys again later. Bye, everybody.